digital space like we are is how can you take your physical business and bring it online? Like, what can you do to convert your skills and talents into something that you can do online? This situation has given us an appreciation of, the chefs, the food service people, the delivery people, the checkout people at the supermarket. There's all these people we encounter that, frankly, many of us, myself included, have taken for granted in the past that are now, making our lives livable. And so we should all do whatever we can to show our appreciation.
Hello, how are you today?
All right, we got it. We got everybody.
Yay. Ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, this is awesome. Cool. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. I really appreciate it. Zach, I don't know how much of a background you got from your dad on who we are and what we do at SubTA. We're the Subscription Trade Association, and right now we put together a video series, called Hope in Crisis. It's focused around helping as many small businesses as we possibly can in this crisis with giving advice and guidance on how they can get their website online, how they can optimize their social presence. I thought it was really cool. I read Jeff's posts on what you had done, and kind of as you're in transition here, you were laid off as a chef, and so it was inspiring, and want to share your story with our audience and use this in a lot of different ways if we can.
Awesome. Yeah, well, I appreciate all the help that we can do to get it out there. It's definitely a struggle being laid off. Being in the restaurant industry for over 15 years now, and then coming to a halt completely, and then trying to have to figure out what to do and where to go from there. So I appreciate all the help on getting that out there as much as possible.
Yeah. So give us, if you don't mind, share a little bit about your background, where you were working, and just kind of maybe give the short story of how everything transpired with the coronavirus crisis, and then maybe what led you to where you are today, what you're doing.
Sure, of course. Sure. Well, I've always loved to cook. Cooking has always been in my family. My grandmother was from Sicily, Italy. So she had a big influence on food. So that was always a part of the culture, part of the lifestyle, part of the family. So when we go over there, always cooking. That got me very intrigued. I've loved food ever since then. I went to culinary school, graduated from Johnson & Wales University in North Miami with a bachelor's degree in culinary arts.
Wow.
I worked for an Italian restaurant company called Bravo Brio Restaurant Group for about 10 years. Traveled the United States with them as a trainer, executive chef, made it all the way to the top. Just recently, I had been working for Joey DeGraw and Gavin DeGraw here in Nashville, Tennessee.
Wow.
I was the executive chef there, created the menu, created all the dishes. It was a great experience. I did a lot of publicity, doing a lot of TV interviews. In New Year's 2019, I was on Fox and Friends in Manhattan. They flew me out there to do a hot chicken special for appetizers for New Year. So that was pretty cool. So I did a lot of good things at Nashville Underground. And then, of course, leading up to the COVID-19 crisis, the restaurant didn't know what to do. Broadway, where we're located, is a tourist destination. All the hotels in the area were lacking guests. Everybody was canceling their plans. There was really no option for them but to shut their doors during these times and try to figure out what the next step was. And, of course, the best bet for everybody was to be unemployed, take you off payroll so that everybody can collect some sort of unemployment, because the restaurant won't be making any money to be able to pay anybody. So they had to cut ties with their employees.
And it all happened pretty abruptly. Now, did your restaurant, did they do any like carry out or try to carry any sort of business on at all? Or they're just like, look, we can't, there's nothing there for us.
The first couple of days we did a lot of feeding the EMS and police officers and firefighters and stuff like that. But then it kind of led to the point where people weren't coming out. People were scared to get on the streets, and, Broadway being a destination site, there just wasn't anybody visiting, wasn't everybody coming down. So it happened really quickly. We tried to remain open, and then within a couple minutes after them deciding that it wasn't a good idea, that they just cut it off real quick. So it definitely happened very fast.
Got it.
And I have a 5-year-old son, and, a rent to pay and obviously bills to pay. So, something had to be made of nothing. And, my father being in the world of social media and all that stuff, we, came up with this idea that, I love to cook and teach people how to cook and show people how to cook. And this would be a good way to get inside people's homes during these times when they're tough and there's nothing to do in the house, and and take the ingredients that you already have. There's nothing you have to go out and get extra. Throw a dish together and then do a virtual cooking lesson with you.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people kind of stuck in their houses right now. Most everybody throughout this crisis, unless you're agile enough to sneak out somehow. So yeah, very, very timely, and sounds like a great tip. And so this is a great chance to introduce your father, Jeff. As you saw him struggling, or maybe kind of heard he was getting laid off there, you know, was it kind of something that came to mind for you, or how did this transpire?
So you know, I'm fortunate in that my business is mostly digital online. So I'm the CMO of .club, one of the new domain extensions. So our business is you know, pretty much online, and although we're working from home, is chugging along. And a few other companies I'm involved with in the e-commerce space are also chugging along okay. I've got one business in the pet space, and you know, people are at home with their pets and they're still buying pet products, so that's chugging along. But needless to say, I was concerned about Zach, you know, when this all started, knowing that he was in the hospitality space. And when he got laid off, you know, I think everyone has to think now, those people who are not in the digital space like we are, is how can you take your physical business and bring it online? Like, what can you do to convert your skills and talents into something that you can do online? Yeah. And one of the things that's always impressed me about Zach, you know, ever since he was 10 years old and decided he was going to be a chef, is he's a very creative chef, and he can come up with things on the spot. And it dawned on us that, you know, right now people are at home, they have time, they have to cook their meals, but shopping's a problem, right? You know, they're not really supposed to go outside, so you really just can't go out and get ingredients for the recipes in your recipe book. So the idea we came up with was for Chef to literally be like a virtual personal chef, where first he'll talk to you, find out what ingredients you have, you know, what kind of spices, you know, other things you have. And then based on what you already have in your home, he'll come up with 2 or 3 or 4 recipe ideas. You'll pick the one you want, and then he'll send you a recipe, and then you guys will do a video call together, and he'll literally walk you through the cooking of your meal as like an online chef, a personal chef. And it's been a lot of fun for the people who've done it, because A, they'll get a great meal. B, they're going to learn a lot of cooking tips by literally working hand in hand with a professional chef. And it's just been a lot of fun, and it's a very interactive thing. And it was a way that we thought that Zach could take his skills online. Yeah. So we posted the idea on Facebook and got a really good response. And in fact, a few takers just from posting it on Facebook. Okay. So then I said, okay, well, let's make this real. So the next step was to domain name and build a website and really turn this into a real online business.
Dude, how cool is that GoDaddy commented on that post that Jeff put out there?
It's fantastic, yeah.
Yeah. Did he? I meant to go look. Did he tag them in that post? Did he tag GoDaddy?
I believe so.
They should pick that up as a case study, because I think that would be a really good thing for them right now. I've seen them do stuff like that before. Interesting. It's so cool too. So like Zach, I could tell you I've got SpaghettiOs, sliced turkey, and a little bit of salami, and then we can make something amazing from that.
For sure, definitely.
That doesn't sound appealing. That's a bad case study right there. But
it sounded pretty good to me.
Yeah, right. My kids would love that. They would be just totally into it. All right, so Zach, you guys came up with this idea. You did a little bit of testing on Facebook, and how long did it take you to build a website, and what tools did you use to get this done for both of you guys?
Yeah, so being in that space, I kind of helped out with that, and I actually went to GoDaddy, where I have most of my domains, and I registered ChefZachSass.club and ChefZachSass.com. Both of them work, and then I used GoDaddy's new websites plus marketing platform to build the website, and I literally did that a week ago Sunday in a couple hours. I mean, literally Sunday morning, I got up, had my coffee, logged on to GoDaddy, and got to work. And the platform made it really easy to put together a very professional looking website. And then we built on it as we got feedback from customers. So we got pictures back from some of the early customers. So we posted those pictures. And, you know, Zach, as he mentioned before, has been very fortunate to appear on national and local TV a number of times. So we put up all of his video clips and his press clips up on the site, and put together a form for people to contact him. And it was pretty easy process. I think that people who are faced with suddenly bringing their business online should recognize that that process today is so much easier than it might have been even 5 or 6 years ago. So people who never had any experience could actually build themselves a pretty professional looking website with these tools like GoDaddy and others have.
Yeah, you literally built a website in the weekend. And I mean, for our audience out there, there's tools out there that are just amazing to get this type of stuff done, make it so easy. I mean, Jeff, you've got a technical background, but even without one, and from what I've seen, it seems like it's pretty easy to get something spun up.
Absolutely. And while I might have some technical knowledge, I am not a designer. I'm not good at making things look pretty. And so that's where the website tools that GoDaddy had, made it very easy to do something that just looks sharp and professional and properly laid out with beautiful images. So that was great. And I think part of the fun too of what Zach is doing is it's not just a cooking lesson from the recipe standpoint, but everything from preparation to plating. And I think a couple of the people who've done it already, what they've enjoyed most was learning how to plate your meal after you cook it, so that actually when you present it to your family, it looks beautiful. And that's been a lot of fun. People are at home, they're having dinner together, they're trying to make things as entertaining and interactive as possible, and now they can have kind of a special meal that they normally wouldn't have. So
I've been learning a lot about plating lately. My daughter, one of my daughters last night, Morgan, she decided she wanted to make some sort of, I don't know what she did. She put some green stuff on the plate. It looked really good. And she's like, Dad, it's what do you call that, Zach? What do you call it when you garnish or something?
Garnish.
Yeah. She's garnishing the plate. I was like, they watch these cooking shows and they're amazing at it.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So Zach, take us through the process. How is this? Somebody goes on your website, they decide they want to work with you. How does the process go?
They submit a request. From there, they submit the request. We typed up together a little process that goes through taking picture of all the stuff that's in your cabinets, your oils, your vinegars, spices, proteins, like fish or anything like that. And then also listing any allergies anybody might have, or anything that they might not like spice, or where you don't like too much green, or this, that, and the other. So whatever there might be issues, they want you to list them out right then and there.
Got it.
The customer then sends me back a list of all their things. I get pictures. I get blurry pictures. I get good pictures. I get scratched out ingredients on things that they had handwritten and stuff like that. But it's all in good fun. I throw a couple of recipes their way that I think I can put together for them. If they don't like them, they can send back some more requests, and I'll go ahead and do that. I've done that plenty of times.
Okay.
Once they choose the recipe, I go ahead and write a personalized recipe. We typed up a personalized recipe format with our picture logos on it, all the information.
Nice.
It is all donation basis right now because we know everybody is struggling. There's a lot of people out there that don't have jobs. They're in situations that they can't control. We want to give a situation that they can have fun with all the stuff that they already have in their house. And great, like my dad said, a great prepared professional meal. The plating was funny. He said that there's a lot of people that have no idea how to do that. You think something so simple as to put food on a plate, but people want to make it look better, present it a little bit different. So I give them some cool techniques. And like you said, your daughter does the garnishing, cool little garnishes here and there, little tips and tricks to just make the environment better. And it's good to bring people to the table, especially your family.
Yeah.
You see now how people are so separated, eating dinners at all different times, eating all over the house. It's good to bring a meal and bring family right back to the table.
Yeah. It's a fun thing to do.
Process,
too.
Paul, the process becomes very interactive too. So after Zach sends them the detailed recipe that they picked, they set a time for the video call, and that's when they cook. And what's great is, again, thanks to technology, the video conferencing now and video chat is so good that people can point the phone or their iPad to the oven top, and Zach can actually see what it looks like and see how much has been cooked, and they go back and forth, and it becomes kind of a very interactive thing. In some cases, the kids have gotten involved, so it became a family event, and probably takes Zach on average about an hour to cook the meal together. The whole process.
Hour and a half, depending on what we're cooking or how many people are involved.
Yeah, so it's a fun activity that keeps you engaged and your family members engaged. You have some fun, you have a great meal, and you learn some real cooking tips along the way.
Yeah. Because I could imagine right now it gets really easy to get into a daily routine that can be monotonous, and you just putting food on a plate and eating it versus giving it the garnishment and plating it and making it look really nice. And then also you're creating a new space for personal connections. You know, we talk a lot about social distancing, and really, I think, you know, maybe even that phrase needs to be, you know, personal distancing, because we need to create that personal space. Socially, we still want to connect with people. And you're giving people another way to socially connect too. You're connecting through food. You're connecting, I mean, a great way to connect through the stomach. So I think that's awesome, what you're doing there. So talk a little bit about, tell me, you know, some of the recipes you put together, or some areas you've seen success so far, some of the fun things you've done.
Well, our first customer was in Canada. She had gotten some fish because her daughter is a pescatarian, but she had no idea how to cook this fish. She thought it was a great deal, so she just picked it up at the grocery store.
Like anything you can buy as you're going along there.
I saw it on the shelf, said, "Oh, this is my great fish," and got it, got a bunch of it. So with all the ingredients she had in her house, we threw together a curried haddock. The fish was a haddock, which is a white fish, with roasted vegetables and basmati ginger rice. So it was really good. She had all these ingredients in her house. She had nothing that she had to go get differently. It was just a bunch of different things that I had taught her to throw together. They cracked open a bottle of wine. You know, we were talking about, this was early on during this COVID-19 problem. So, we were talking about what it was like in Canada and how they were treating it versus how we were treating it here in Nashville or in the States.
Yeah.
So it was very fun teaching them techniques and going through the processes of how we cook things. And it ended up being a fantastic meal. They were above and beyond happy. They could not believe they had all the ingredients first in the house to do all this.
Right.
Plus, they had no idea that they could do it themselves. And it was good. They had a great meal. She left a really good testimonial on the website. Said some really nice things. But it was a good experience to first, network with people in other countries and see how things are going on other sides of the world, and also teach them a couple of things here and there, and bring them to the table to enjoy a great meal.
So you recommend? You said you recommend a donation right now, as you know, everybody's going through a tough time, so you don't want to put anybody in a tough spot. Is there, a donation amount that is ideal? What's, what is best for people to look at or consider when they're?
Sure, it's funny thing you asked that. Me and my dad would go back and forth with this all day long.
What are you saying? What does he say then?
Yeah, well, I, to be honest with you, I love sharing my skills and I love sharing my knowledge. That's the best part about being a chef, is that I get to teach people how I do it and how I know how to do it, and what the right or professional way is to doing it. So I have no problem sharing that. I would say, we go from anywhere from $25 to $100. I'm not looking for to you to pull your socks off and shake all the coins you got out of there. But I also want to have a good experience for you and your family, and also share the knowledge and be compensated, but not by too much.
Yeah. What do you say? What do you say, Jeff?
No, I was going to say, when we were talking about how to price this, Zach and I, we decided that rather than set a fee at this point, a fixed fee, because everyone's in a different situation. Some people still have their income, some people don't. That basically Zach's going to cook the meal and put the time in, and then you pay whatever you feel is reasonable and that is manageable for you as a donation, and that's fine. I think when the dust settles and after this virus crisis is over, and if Zach continues this online business, then we'll probably set some fixed fees around it. But for now, whatever people can manage, whatever they feel is appropriate, because everyone's situation is different. Zach is happy to do it.
Yeah. And two, I mean, I hope you're walking down this path too. This is a great thing for subscription and to look at. Zach will connect with you X number of times a month or a week, and help you cook and take you on a culinary adventure maybe once a month or once a week.
Absolutely. That's why we also have the Doc Club name working.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. What were you going to say, Zach?
Groups would be great too. It's just hard to get people together at these times right now, with the social distancing and physical distancing, however you want to call it. But it's hard to get people to groups. But groups is definitely an idea as well, like a large party of a bunch of ladies. Or today I was offered to do cook with students as a group. Cool. One of the ladies I had done a class with owns a preschool in Texas, and she wants to do like a online video class with her students, and then introduce like a little cooking section where we would do, some fun activities, some easy at-home stuff that I'd obviously send a recipe to her, and she'd send it to all the parents, so the parents would have all the stuff ready to go. But some great ideas that are being proposed and some good applications that it could apply to.
Awesome. So we definitely want to help you spread the word too, and we're going to put this out there to our network. What's the website again that people can visit for you?
ChefZachSass.com.
All right, and that's chef,
Yep.
and we'll put a little link on the screen here of that.
ChefZachSass.com or ChefZachSass.club.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see how this continues too. And you know, I admire what you've done here and making lemonade out of the lemons and you know, continuing to push forward here. I know this is just a tough time for everybody right now. You know, we're you know, we see it and feel it in some of our businesses here, and you know, always pushing forward. That's why I was excited to jump on with you.
No, we appreciate it, Paul. We appreciate everything you guys are doing. And I think, you know, this is a time when the entrepreneurial spirit is really important, and you know, people have to be creative and be innovative. And the good news is we have all these tools available to us. And, you know, this virus is a medical thing, but it doesn't affect our infrastructure. So we have the internet. We have our communications tools. We have everything in front of us to be creative and try to, as you said, make lemonade from these lemons.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't tell you a number of times my wife and I have both said to our kids, like, you know, when we were kids, this would have been a heck of a lot worse. And not that it's not bad, but geez.
Yeah. But could you imagine this situation where you didn't have cell phones and didn't have the internet? I mean,
yeah, like what would we do all day? We'd just stare out the window.
We'd really eat, but then we'd just eat whatever was in the cabinet and stuff our faces.
Yeah, exactly. We'd all be way overweight. Yeah. Oh, cool. Well, I think this is awesome. We'll include in the links here as we put this together some you know, to GoDaddy there and the tools that they that they have out there and available. You know, definitely help spread the word. Anything? I think we covered through a lot of this stuff. Anything we missed that we should make sure we note here?
No, I think we covered everything. I really appreciate you putting the time in and helping us out here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think this situation has given us an appreciation of, you know, the chefs, the food service people, the hospital workers, and all these people, the delivery people, the checkout people at the supermarket. There's all these people we encounter that, frankly, many of us, myself included, have taken for granted in the past that are now, you know, making our lives livable. And so we should all do whatever we can to show our appreciation for everyone who's really helping keeping the infrastructure going and keeping our food flowing and keeping us entertained and keeping us sane during this period.
Yeah. Awesome. Very true. And, you know, hopefully your adventure continues well for you, Zach. And thank you so much for, you know, I think you're really doing a lot for people. And like I said, taking them on a culinary adventure when they're stuck in their houses. And
exactly.
You know, and I hope it's very helpful for you and continues to be successful. So thanks for putting the hustle out there and helping people everywhere you can.
Yeah. Thank you very much. We appreciate you very much.
All right, guys. Thanks again for joining me. Take care. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.